That split is always a confusing split.
It's second time in my life. Usually
I did it few times.
You did too?
Yeah, few times. Trust me. When I want to go to 401, I end up in 427. When I want the 427, I end up in 401. That's always happened to me.
Yeah, put my phone back because you take to England this phone.
They had to do something about it. Why it's so confusing?
And you will stay in your daughter's house, or where you gonna stay?
I'll be staying with my daughter's place.
How was your life in you with your niece?
It's okay. It went really busy. The kids, the boy, he's hyperactive. He kept me busy all the time. He will be on your tail. She has a little baby. That baby actually very attached to me. The baby always, the first smiled at me, not even at mother. I told her mother, look at the baby smiling at me. Then 2 weeks later, every time I see my face, it's a big smile.
How old she is?
The baby is 4 months old now.
Okay, tell me one terminal, three,
Terminal
you see, because I can go to one.
Terminal 3.
Terminal 3, this, yeah?
Yeah.
This one, yeah. I have John. John is British guy too. He got speed tickets here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was driving. He was
John? Oh, you mean the neighbor? John?
No, another John.
Another John?
I work in bus with him.
Oh, yeah?
But he is also British one.
He's a British guy.
From Liverpool.
He still talk British.
Yeah,
He does?
Yeah, but he retired now and left for his daughter to Ottawa.
Where is he going?
To Ottawa he moved.
Oh, he's going to Ottawa.
Well, he's like a few years ago. He left Newmarket.
Yeah.
Because he lived in Newmarket, and before retirement he
Oh, he's
drove.
going to live with his daughter.
Yeah, he left with his phone number. He bought townhouse in Ottawa,
Oh, okay.
near to his daughter. Yeah. Also, people going to daughters, you know, not only you.
Well, when you get older, the daughters are there to receive you. Most of the cases.
Departure, arrival. You're not arrival yet.
No, I don't want to arrive now. Departures. So mine is a British guy, British Airways, and first time I'm flying.
Which airlines?
British Airlines, British Airways.
I flew by this one.
They send email every other day. Things to do. Are you ready? Time has come. Pack your thing. Did you print all the documents?
Okay, man, you are almost here. Tell me, please, where is stop?
BA.
A is 13, 15.
That's the American.
Delta.
Not Delta, British Airways.
Terminal 3. Departure.
There are 3 lines there. What is trolleys for me?
Air France, China, Caribbean.
Must be here. These are all
Philippines.
international.
British Airlines is very
Okay. They are special.
yeah, very they put them in the corner.
They are special. Where did you see British Airways?
British Airways.
Oh, they bought it. Wow. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Call me when you arrive.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up from the airport too. Okay, man?
This boy always come after me. Take off. I have something in the bag. I need to take it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you know because we need spare one, yeah?
For the Toronto Sun and also some media papers. I know you read all these reports, so I thought, who will know the dire circumstances with this report? Lori will. What's your take?
I agree with what Greta Thunberg said. This is a classic example of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, which is a sort of definition of insanity. This is leading up to the 26th international meeting of the UN Climate Convention on Climate Change. It's going to happen in Scotland in November. Years ago in 2015 it was Paris, and before that it was Copenhagen. And prior to these meetings that, of world leaders that emit enough carbon dioxide to choke an elephant, these reports come out so that everybody can be hysterical. And then they'll go to their meeting, they'll all fly in with private jets and stay at five-star hotels, and it'll run over time as it did the last three of them, and then they'll come out at the last minute saying they've developed a new deal to save the planet. And meanwhile, emissions go up and up and up. And it's odd that they would blame us. The whole language of blame that the media participates in. That, okay, so what you're saying is that developed countries are at fault for trying to improve the standards of living of their citizens. Developing countries are at fault for trying to do the same thing that we in the developed world did a century ago, which was to use fossil fuels to power ourselves out of the third world people who are, all up in arms about this are people in the first world telling people in the third world basically, no, you can't do what we did. You can't use your fossil resources to improve your standard of living. Yes, we did, but we did so much of it that we ruined the climate for everybody. So the idea of blame is absurd. In the first place, blame. This is like we're all running around with oil wells in our backyards, having it gush out of the yards and then we're shipping it off around the world. If the governments are so concerned about this, then why do our emissions keep going up? Why are they at their highest level ever right now? I think most people are kind of tired of this perpetual crying wolf. The fact is,
Well, especially you don't call out the wolf, because the real wolf, the real culprit is China, which continuously builds coal plants, and unless you're going to go after them, there's only so much we can do. But, you look at this, and they're saying in this report that this is the death knell for fossil fuel, and yet you got guys like Mark Carney running around the world, making huge investments with Brookfield, and what are they investing in? Fossil fuels. I mean, it's great for him to make all his money in it, it's just the rest of us must change.
well, look, the only people who think that the age of fossil fuels is dying are it's just not true. It's just not true. At best, there will be a gradual decline in fossil fuel use, but it is not disappearing anytime soon. In Canada, for example, in the last few months, it's the recovery of the oil sector
Yeah.
that has Canada achieve a trade surplus. This is in recent weeks. Anyway, the column I'm writing about tomorrow on all this is, let's take a totally different view of all this for once. Let's look at optimism, and let's not wallow in what a UK liberal think tank called years ago climate porn. And climate porn is things like the media, and a lot of us in the media are responsible for this. We take the worst case scenario that's proposed by the IPCC and say it's going to happen. Well, no.
Or we take the image of the dying polar bear that actually is.
Yeah. The worst case scenario is the worst case scenario. It's probably not going to happen. And we ignore advancements that we've made. And so, like, for one example, look, deaths because of climate disasters are horrible, no matter when they occur. But the reality is, because of improvements in human technology, there are 90% fewer people dying today from climate change than there were in 1900. And there are a lot more people. So that, that's one of many metrics you could look at where, no, actually, life is improving around the planet. It's not getting worse. And one of the reasons is because of the use of fossil fuels. Now, going forward, there are a lot of things we can do. What I've written about quite often is that the single most effective thing we could do is to replace coal-fired electricity with